Shalom, shalom, brothers. Brother Kamal Mahar here, back at it again. First thing first, we give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawashi Bahasham Yahawashi Bahasham Rachaa Qadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of learning truth from GMS. Blessing to the Akiman there preaching his word with whole heart, true sincerity. Blessed to the 144,000, 1/3 entirely, the first fruits, kingdom of heaven, house of David, that be Yafta Wadah. And shalom to brothers that they are speaking different tongues and looking in different nations. Shalom to you, brothers. So today, brothers, back to a little treat for myself and any like-minded brothers like me. It's been a little while, but through the spirit, I'm going to go into my favorite topic once again: spiritual power. Especially spiritual power is a big part of the scriptures, and also it's a big part of prophecy and promise to Yahawashi Bahasham chosen men. The so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Seminole Indians of the elect, that in these troubling times, they are going to receive spiritual power in order to defend themselves when Esau come in with that truth. And this is, and not a lot of brothers go into spiritual power, but I follow brothers who do, especially the brother Manak Nazak Banyamyan. Follow his page. As a really brother's videos are awesome, and he's heavy in spiritual power in the kingdom of heaven itself. And a lot of times he might have an in transit on the way to camp with his other brothers, other Akim that he's going to camp with, and they might go into Jacob's trouble and other topics of the scriptures. But majority of the time, whenever his brother is on a solo, he's predominantly kingdom and spiritual power, which is a beautiful thing to go into, because when you think about this Jacob's trouble and what we're about to get ourselves into through prophecy that Yahawashi Bahasham Rachaa is going to bring down on his place, you have to understand this. So I like to always get into the reasonings, right? First things first, we can start with Daniel 12:1 first. Get down to the basement. And it says, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, the Israelites, right? So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Seminole Indians of today. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book, right? And this particular time is Jacob's trouble. We can even go into Zechariah. Zechariah, or was it? Yeah, I think it's Zechariah. No, Jeremiah 30:7. It says, at last, for that day is great. Same thing in Daniel, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it, right? And so how are Israelites going to be saved out of it? Well, one, it's going to be brothers with spiritual power, and also, the Lord just, delivering his people to have them to escape in however manner they need to, or however the manner the Lord set it up. It could be an angel. It could be an angel. Can do some, can intervene. You see how it's going to be so bad that Michael has to. But at the same time, though, let's go to the book of Isaiah, which I'm going to get into, what the Lord calls the standard, right? And I'm explaining that, and then we're going to go into it. Isaiah 40, and we're going to start at 28. Has thou not known? No, you know what? Okay, we can start with this one in general. I didn't want this one, but I get the one that I need in a second. Isaiah 40 and 28 is, has thou not known, has thou not heard, that the everlasting power of Yahawashi Bahasham Rachaa, the creator of the ends of the earth, fainteth not, neither is weary, there is no searching of his understanding. He giveth power to the faint, and to them that have no might he increaseth strength. Right? Even the youth shall faint and be weary, and the young men shall utterly fall. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint. So this is a clear indication that the Lord is going to increase the strength of the faint. And who are the faint? The elect, also named as worms in the next chapter, which I can get that too. We're minute. We have no type of protection. We have no type of what's that? Judah Mourneth and Judah Langwith, in their walls. What's that? I don't gotta bring it out, but I believe that was Jeremiah, what, 10 and not 10 and 2. That slipped me. Jeremiah 10. Not learning the way. Jeremiah, let me see, 14 and 2. Yep, it says Judah mourneth in the gates thereof language, which the gates thereof language means we have no type of protection. They are black unto the ground, and the cry of Jerusalem is going up, which also indicates that our people are a melanated people. But Judah mourneth in the gates thereof language. We have no protection. So right here in Isaiah, right? Back to Isaiah 40 down at the bottom, it said that we're going to mount our wings of eagles. That's literal. Brothers are going to get the brothers are going to get the power to actually take flight and fly. Similar, I would like to say Hancock, which is a really good depiction. Superman, how he does. Hyperion. You got Black Adam. All those super flight. The ability to fly, man, to be able to do what Superman does. Brothers is going to get that particular ability. And then you got to understand that they shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint. Well, what is that? Well, that's basically unlimited stamina, because what is referencing is the fact that we're going to be able to run around, do what he do, but the spiritual power that we're going to endow, Lord willing, to be a part of that number, we're not going to be weary. We're going to have the ability to remember, when you got spiritual power, you can defy, physics itself, and also the terrestrial situation. Superpowers are superpowers. You know what I'm saying? Like, the average person can run, 24, 20, not the average, but like the fastest person in the world can go about what? 22 to 24-ish maybe miles per hour. When you got super speed, you can go 15 to 2 to 3 times faster than that. Super speed is anything beyond 25 miles per hour. Imagine a human being running 60 miles per hour, 100, 150, 200 miles per hour, etc. Well, super speed is in the scriptures as well. But being able to run and not be weary and walk and not faint, man, that's a beautiful power within itself, to be able to not do that. This type of power, the spirit of power, Yahawashi Bahasham Rachaa is going to give his men. Lord will, I could be a part of that number, man. Hey, listen, I came into the truth on spiritual power. That's how I got in here. I found out we was Israelites, yeah. And then it was elevated and maxed out to where my belief was kicked in through spiritual power. And also by the same, through the vessel of the brother Menat Zabayamyan with his amazing videos that he put up. Looking like Marvel and Jake, and so-called Negroes and Latino Native Indians, you with spirit with power. The way the videos were set up was incredible, man. I love Marvel, DC type of Dragon Ball Z style of play. Power is one of my favorite things. I would love to be super fast. I would love to be super strong. I would love to be able to fly. I would love to be able to shoot laser beams and manipulate elements. Truth be told, this is part of our heritage, man. Truth be told, the type of powers that we see on TV come from the scriptures. The type of power that we see that seems to be fiction is actually the reality towards which is the inheritance of a Hebrew Israelite, the so-called Negro, Latino, Native Semi Indians. Hey, listen, this is like every time I get on this topic and I establish that particular statement, it becomes the most beautiful, most unbelievable, most amazing information that you can ever find out being an Israelite. Because even when we get into the kingdom, we get into our celestial beings, our celestial bodies, or whatever. Even coming through the loins, the Israelite baby being born is going to be of a celestial setup and will have spiritual power as well. Made perfect, right? It's a beautiful thing. Listen, man. Brothers are going to look. Listen, it's going to be a point in time where Esau, and it's going to be a great insurrection, pursuing it like when it goes into second address, I believe 1669, 70, 71 range in that area, where it's going to be an insurrection where they're going to go after the Israelites, and then it's going to be ravaging and pillaging and taking out them houses and taking their goods, and then the Lord established himself saying that then you shall know who my chosen is. But you gotta understand, whenever Esau coming like a flood, The Lord is not going to let Esau terrorize and take over and destroy his men and his loved ones and whoever the elect that the Lord was going to bestow these powers to. Lord will not be a part of that number, and you sincere brothers as well. I'm gonna keep saying that. But when the Lord, endows that power onto those men, these men are going to do some extraordinary things and have such power that mankind has never seen before, or unless it's going to be highly similar as a concept and idea of what you see on these movies, man. But it's going to be a reality that there's going to be these Israelite men with these type of powers, man. Raising the dead, healing, flight, super speed, super strength, like Hulk and Superman. All types of wild stuff. Remember, Elisha brought down fire from heaven. King David can run fast and super juke, and he can jump over walls, bending steel with his forearm, knocking down tens of thousands of men by himself. Then you got Samson, which we can get in that too. I mean, let's go to Isaiah 41. Isaiah 41 and let's go to 13. For I, the Lord, thy power, will hold thy right hand, saying unto thee, fear not, I will help thee. The Lord's going to help his men. I'm telling you, like we always say, man, or a lot of us brothers say to similar situations. It's going to be one Israelite man inside of a building, and 30 to 40 to 50 type of different men are going to go in after that Israelite. And when it's all said and done, only one person coming out. There's going to be that one Israelite man coming out alone. After all those men went in there, only one guy coming out. It's the Spirit of the Lord going to have that brother getting busy, whooping ass on type of powers that humans never knew really was possible. Unexplainable type of acts are these men, these future elect men, Lord willing, I could be a part of that, was going to be able to do. And it says, fear not thy worm Jacob. We are worms, man. We ain't nothing out here. We can't beat Esau. We can't defeat Esau and his blessing. We can't go up against a troop in the army. But when Yahawashi Bahasham Rachaa has our back and bestow brothers with them powers, we're going to be able to do whatever the fuck we need to. Right? And it says, and ye men of Israel, I will help thee, saith the Lord, and thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. Behold, I will make thee a new sharp threshing instrument having teeth, and thou shalt thresh the mountains and beat them small, and shalt make the hills chaff. And that goes into governments, armies, military tanks, soldiers, weapons, guns, grenades, rocket launchers, whatever it is they're going to try to bring up upon the Israelite man. That man gets spiritual power. It's going to be the last day for the people that's right after him. You best believe that shit. It is not going to be well at all. 16, thou shalt fan them, and the wind shall carry them away, and the whirlwind shall scatter them, and thou shalt rejoice in the Lord, and shalt glory in the Holy One of Israel. What Samson do? You know what I mean? Samson, got busy, and he also, glorified the name of Yahawashi Bahasham Rachaa. So let me go to Samson one time to give an indication of how this is going to go. You can read Acts 2 as well. Matter of fact, okay, watch this. All right. Because what you see in the scriptures is going to also come again. Acts, the 2nd chapter, when the brothers had to go to the day of Pentecost from all walks of life, right? Look at this. And when the day of Pentecost was fully come, they were all with one accord in one place. But here is this though. Before I read 2, let's just see what they were able to do, and then I'm going to go up to 2 and why. It says, this is what they were doing. It says, and there appeared unto them cloven tongues like as of fire, and it sat upon each of them, right? And they were all filled with the Holy Spirit, Holy Ghost, and to speak with other tongues as the Spirit gave them utterance, right? So that's basically why he's able to do it. But hold up real quick before I go to 2. And there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, devout men out of every nation under heaven. So there was like so many different Israelites from different nations speaking in different tongues, right? And it says, Now when this was noise abroad, the multitude came together and were confounded, because that every man heard them speak in his own language. And they were all amazed and marveled, saying one to another, Behold, are not all these which speak Galileans? And how hear we every man in our tongue wherein we were born? Right? How is that possible? All these brothers came together, and when the apostles were preaching, every brother that was speaking in different languages was able to hear their language through what the apostles was speaking. And they were all able to understand, even though they spoke different languages, all on one consent, on one consent. That's incredible, man. And how is this possible? Verse 2. And suddenly there came a sound from heaven as of a rushing mighty wind, and it filled all the house where they were sitting, which is the Holy Spirit. Now, boom, you see that, right? Now, when you go to Judges, right? Or Samson, what happened with Samson? Judges, I believe, 15? Okay, Judges 15, and we're going to go start 13. And they spake unto him, saying, No, but we will bind thee fast. Talking about the other Israelites going to bind Samson, because the Philistines were coming up on him. So it was better to give up Samson to the Philistines, so the Philistines don't go after the whole entire jate. Like, why kill all when you can go at one and not spoil the whole bunch? Is what they're getting into. And it says, But we will bind thee fast and deliver thee into their hand. But surely we would not kill thee. And they bound him with 2 new cords and brought him up from the rock. So they bound him up, his hands together, which the average person would not be able to get out of, like typical handcuffs today. And when he came unto Lehi, the Philistines shouted against him, and the Spirit of the Lord came mightily upon him, and the cords that were upon his arms became as flax that was burnt with fire, and his bands loosed from his hands. So what the average person couldn't do, Samson was able to break out of him after the Spirit came mightily upon him. It's similar to just like the Acts chapter 2. The Spirit came right on him and gave him the power that he needed to be able to do that. And then it says he found a new jawbone of ass and put forth his hand and took it, and he slew 1,000 men therewith. And Samson said, With the jawbone of an ass, heaps upon heaps, with the jaw of an ass, have I slain 1,000 men. Nobody can do that. Nobody can do that. Not let alone if you use a sword. At some given point, that sword will start to kind of dull out, or it'll get a little messed up. He used the jawbone of an ass to slay 1,000 men at one time. Nobody can do that. Only the Spirit of the Lord have to be upon you in order to bestow you with spiritual power like this, in order to execute something so impossible. That is impossible. See what I mean? Most incredible. Let's go to Isaiah 59 and 19. It says, so shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When an enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of Yahawashi Bahasham shall lift up a standard against him. Now what I like to do with this one is, I like to go to the blue letter, right? And when you go to the blue letter, look up the Hebrew word standard. Now, I think that might have been the why, where I tried to say it was the mark the other day, but I think that's the why. But I could be wrong. Hold on, let me get this right. Okay, this is Isaiah 59 and 19. Okay, go to the interlinear, and we're going to go to, I think that might have been the why. Standard. Nope, it's noose. I don't know what what is the why? I got to remember that. Always the why. What Hebrew word is the why? Brothers probably watch this video, understand what that, because I know what it is too. I just forgot what it actually was. Noose.
Strong's H 5127. Noose.
Which is this will be the Hebrew for standard. It says to flee, escape, to take flight, right? Depart, disappear, or to fly to the attack, right? To drive at, to take flight, to put to flight, to drive hastily, to cause, disappear, and hide. These are the different styles of ways that you know the Lord can put the spirit on you to do. You can escape out the way, you can take flight like Isaiah 40 was going into, or you can actually go at them and attack and do your thing, to put them to flight, to drive away hastily, to cause, disappear, and hide. Or maybe spiritual power can put a cloaking on you or something. Who knows? That anything is possible with Yahawashi Bahasham Rachaa, Luke 1:37. Now, here's an interesting one. I'm gonna bring out two more because there's just plenty of them, plenty of spiritual power. But I want to bring out Luke though, because Luke will also go into the type of power we're gonna get into. Luke 10:19. It says, "Behold, I give unto you power to tread on serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you." This also goes into the armies and soldiers and grenades and weapons of all the opposite. Whatever they bring forth, the Lord's going to make it so that nothing by any means will hurt you. Now that's invincible. When brothers get these spiritual power, it's going to be some Brightburn shit going on. Brightburn movie is pretty much the best depiction I can give you right now. Or even Black Adam. I like the way Black Adam moved too. Black Adam and Brightburn is a really good situation. You know, all hands on deck, and the brothers just start getting busy when they get that power. Oh shit. It's going to be a real bad scenario for the opposite person or the oppositions in general, right? And what I wanted to get into was Micah, or was it Malachi? Micah 4:13. It says, you know what? Let me read this also in the blue letter. Watch this, brothers. This is beautiful. I got this from the brothers from I forgot what camp that was. But you think brothers is playing when they go into the scriptures and going into spiritual power, that the Lord gonna bestow some crazy stuff on them. No, they're not. This is Micah 4:13. It says, "Arise and thresh, O daughter of Zion, for I will make thy horn iron, and I will make thy hooves brass, and thou shalt beat in pieces many people. And I will consecrate their gain unto the Lord, and their substance unto the Lord of the earth, of the whole earth." Now, when you go into the interlinear, iron is a really strong metal. So is brass. So going to signs of power. Horn is power. Salakia. When you go to this is
Strong's H 7161. Keren.
Right? Horn is up strength. It's going into horn, rays of light. Strength and rays of light will fit this particular one. Rays of light. That sounds like some Superman shit right there. Where brothers gonna be able to shoot rays of light out. Yeah, brothers don't know too much about this one right here. I got this from another brother that pointed this out. But here's the thing though. To make this more interesting, when you go to the root word in the etymology H7160, it goes into Quran, which also goes into shine, to send out rays. You see that? That's laser beams out of your own body gonna be able to do when spiritual power come upon brothers. They're gonna be able to emit rays, man. Send out rays, man. Yo, this spiritual power that the Lord's gonna bestow on brothers is going to be on a level that of non-understanding. Brothers are going to be doing some freaky, wild, crazy shit. It's going to be a beautiful thing to see. Lord will, I could be a part of that number to be able to be able to move like that, man. This is my last precept right here. My favorite, which I love to get into. I didn't even get into David, but I had to hit this one though. This is Wisdom of Solomon 3. And I'm going to go into Okay, so I believe it's Wisdom of Solomon 3. Yep, it says as gold, Wisdom of Solomon 3, 6, and 7. And as gold in the furnace have he tried them and received them as a burnt offering. And in the time of their visitation, they shall shine and run to and fro like sparks among the stubble. That right there, my friends, is super speed. That is a beautiful thing. And I love to run and have super speed. That will be a phenomenal experience because remember, the Lord said He's gonna lift up a standard to escape. That could be one of the ways where you could just fly, dash off. Because King David was fast. King David was super fast. He had really swift feet himself, like a gazelle type of movement. King David was able to do his thing out there. Listen, bros, you got to hold on because the Lord said like that, I will help thee, thy worm Jacob. We in good hands, man. Let the Lord do his thing. All we got to do is keep doing his work until, matter of fact, nope, one last one. Salakia. Jeremiah 16 and 16. Similar to Isaiah 40. It says, but behold, I will send for many fishers, saith the Lord. That's what we're doing right now. We're fishing for the elect. We're on the highways and hedges. We're doing videos. We're very humble and meek, and we just making pretty much not doing nothing physical or nothing carnal. That ain't our lot right now. But it says, and they shall fish them. And afterward I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill out of the holes of the rocks. And how you think we're gonna be able to do that? With spiritual power, man. Kal Halal Yahawah Bahasham Rachaa. We give all praise again to Yahawashi Bahasham Rachaa Qadash. Yahweh, He is to be, exists, Bahasham the name, the only begotten Son, the Lord and Savior. Yahawashi Bahasham the name, Holy Spirit of Rachaa Qadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders who learn truth from GMS. Blessings to the Akim Adir preaching His word. Wholehearted sincerity. Blessed to the 144,000, 1/3 entirely. The first fruits kingdom in heaven. House of David, the Biyaf Dawadah. Shalom to brothers out there speaking different tongues and look at different nations. Shalom to you brothers out there, man. Pray, brothers, because Lord willing, in the near future, man, we get that spiritual power. Shalom.